This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Hey, check.
Checking.
Mic check.
Checking.
Well, talking at the same time. It's crazy.
Check it out.
Oh, it's crazy.
21st of January 2021. My name is Corey Winfield.
Marnie Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Welcome. Appreciate you listening. We talk about recovery from substance use disorder. And we talk about UFOs. We talk about ghosts. We talk about time travel. We talk about everything on the earth of the world. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about recovery. Maybe UFOs. That was a documentary I was just watching. Be careful what you watch when you're sleeping, because it'll really trip you up.
Yeah, I was dreaming about time travel.
Yeah.
Which is your thing.
I know. I'm going to make it happen one day. But first, I'm going to get this recovery thing down.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, my name's Corey, and I have 2 years clean. And Marnie, you have almost a year and a half, something like that.
Something like that.
It's flying by. So, yeah, we're going to work on that a little bit before we get to actually building the time machine. So we got other things that we have planned first.
Right.
But one day when I'm super old and have nothing else to do, I'll go ahead and put the finishing touches on the time machine. But no, today, though, it occurred to me, I guess it occurred to me a while ago, but I just never really put it together. You know that moment when, especially if you're in early recovery, when maybe you just realize, okay, I have a problem, and you're just coming to terms with it, and the family members are just like, oh, thank God, he's catching on, he's realizing, or she's realizing that this is a problem, and oh my gosh, thank you, he's going to get help. And we're all gung-ho. Like, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to nip this in the bud. I'm better than this. I'm not sure how I got caught up this way, but you know what? I'm here now, and I'm going to face it. And then you try to go to treatment, and you realize it's not as easy as you thought it was. You thought you could just pick up the phone, and doors would open right up, and you go right in. Doesn't work that way. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you can get right in. With COVID and everything else going on, a little bit harder right now, and depending where you are and population and stuff going on in your community, it varies. But there's a gentleman that I kind of been helping a little bit, and that was kind of his thing. He's like, okay, finally, and I'm gonna go get help. And he calls the treatment place, and they're like, oh well, we got, just call us back next week, and kind of give him the runaround a little bit. And he kind of was really thrown off by that, and I think that. It didn't really hurt or damage. It might have just added fuel to the fire of him and more excuses coming. So he takes it to this other level of, okay, well, I'll just, so I can't get in there. I'll make some kind of attempt. So I'll just go someplace out of my comfort zone for a few days. We'll try that. Now I'll get a job and I'll start working and everything will be fine. I'll get that money coming in, everything. And once I get a job, it's going to be wonderful. I'll have money. I can pay for things, which is something that I went through at one point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I just need a job. Once I get that money coming in, I'll be able to pay my bills. That's why I'm drinking. Because I'm stressed out about bills. Okay. No, that's drinking because I'm like, whatever. But in my mind, that's what I was like, okay, yeah. So dude goes and spends a couple days, if that, and he's, oh, no, not going to work. The person I was staying with is alcoholic. It's his fault. Can't be there. I'm coming home. Can't do it. Mm-hmm. And it's the treatment center's fault for not opening the doors to me right away. It's everybody else's fault. It's his dad's fault. It's his mom's fault. Everybody else's fault. But it's not his fault.
Sounds very familiar.
Yep. So it throws himself into the victim role of, man, the world's against me. And the brain's already, and firsthand, Marnie, that we don't need much to justify using.
Oh, no.
So it's the brain's way of saying, yep, okay, yep, you deserve it, man. You can go right back to it, and you can just continue on doing what you were doing. You've tried to go to treatment, bro. Like, you did so good. You tried. Look at you. You called them once, and damn it, it's their fault they didn't let you in. What do you expect? And then you go out of your way to live at some other body's house, putting you out like that, to go out of your way to live somewhere else, and that person drinks, and I want to be around that. So, nope, everybody else's fault. If they really wanted to help me, they would have, and they didn't, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's a sad story.
Yeah. But that's how the brain works. And it's not necessarily his fault, because the brain is there to make us feel better. The brain wants us to feel better. And without even thinking, this is what's going through this, and he thinks he's 100% right. He thinks he's in the right. And that's what I felt too. Mm-hmm. I felt, I tried the treatment thing. It took me too long to get in. And once I finally did, then, oh man, it was horrible. And I went out of my way to go to California, and for what? I can do this on my own, and I don't need that, whatever. And there's a lot of things that this kid's missing, and that's the part of going to treatment. But it occurred to me, though, that this is the moment, and I've said it before, you have to do the things you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. That is 100% going to break you. That's gonna tell your brain, I don't care, I'm doing it. Like, I know you want me just to feel better and to use whatever means necessary for me to feel better, but you have to go against that because your brain's telling you you don't want to.
Right.
That's when that's what I have to do. Because when you can condition your brain to, nope, that's what we got to do. And it's in everyday life. It's from cleaning the bathroom to walking past that Kleenex that's been laying on your floor for 2 days, like, pick it up, but you're conditioned to, no, because I just want to walk past it because I'm just lazy. And it's not that you're lazy, it's just,
I'll get to it.
Yeah, your brain's telling you, nah, don't worry about it, it's not important. But it is important. Pick it up, put it in the trash. It's doing those things you don't want to do. And sober living is a part of that as well. You start doing things not necessarily for other people, but it does benefit other people, like your chore. Like, if you live in sober living, you're probably going to have a chore to do. Some people are like, I don't want to do a chore. That's why you have to do the chore. That's you conditioning your brain to go against what you want and what you need to do. Because by doing that chore, first of all, you're going to create all kinds of happy brain stuff that makes you feel happy, serotonin and dopamine. And when you finish it, you finished. So your chore is to clean the bathroom. Well, we cleaned the bathroom. You feel good afterward. Mm-hmm. And you're actually doing stuff for other people, because other people come in and they use the bathroom too. Just like when they clean the kitchen or do the laundry, whatever their chore is, you would expect them to do it. So why wouldn't you go just do your chore? What, sweep the floor? Sweep the floor, man. I don't want to, I just did it 2 days ago. Doesn't matter. Do it again. That's your chore. Mm-hmm. I don't want to. And it's the more repetition of beating to your brain that, back off, man, I'm doing it. Like, I know you're telling me that we don't want to do it, but it's something that you have to do. And like I said, just like treatment, if you're in that mode of, I tried and this is that, and here, I'll do it this way, stop and think about what you just said. And then, well, you don't want to go to treatment. Why? Oh, there's a million reasons. Well, because I need to get a job. Well, because I need to do this. We're talking about your life here. Mm-hmm. Addiction is strong. It's powerful. It's taken so many lives. And for the people that are out there that are thinking, oh, well, it's not going to happen to me. I was there. It wasn't going to happen to me either, man. I was going to do it my own way.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We all want to do it our own way. Mm-hmm. Until a certain point, until we've hit that absolute rock bottom. But it doesn't have to go that far. You don't have to live outside. It's cold. And family members will shut the door because they're not going to enable you anymore. And there's a difference between giving up on somebody and stop enabling them. Mm-hmm. You know, if they only come around for money, they only show up with their, smile on, their good face and their good story about how they're going to do it, and then they really just want money, well, the family doesn't want you around then, because all you're doing is you're like a dog coming around, and it's not even your dog, it's like, get off my yard, man. You go figure out what you're going to do. You're not my dog. But they say no, like don't come around. And there's a difference between, you're not drinking in my house, you're going to get the hell out. There's a lot of families that do that. I hope to God I'm not faced with that with my children, but if I am, I'm going to do my best to get them help and to help them the best I can. But if that involves, hey, son, I don't want you around, your kids are here sometimes, like, why is grandpa watching the kids? You really need to get your stuff together. Now I'll drive you there and we're going to, get you the help that you need. And I'll even talk to you to help you figure it out. But if you're just coming around to ask for money, nobody needs to see you that way. Mm-hmm. And I'm not giving you any. So do you need a tent? Because I heard they might have one at the Salvation Army. I don't know. I'm not giving you my tent because you're going to sell it. I don't know. There's a difference, between just get out of my house. You're not drinking here ever, and actually let me help you. Mm-hmm. So you can't get it twisted like that. And I know my mom never gave up on me, but there was a time where she was enabling me, and she would admit, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that and should have done this. And there's no right way and wrong way. We're all different. What works for somebody is not going to work for somebody else. But the bottom line, though, it is addiction, and it's very powerful. So just kind of keep that in mind. And if somebody that or loved one or a friend is kind of going through that stage of, well, I don't want to go to treatment, then that's exactly what they need to do. Mm-hmm. And there are things that you learn at treatment. And treatment for me was fun. Sure, like maybe the first couple days or so, if I was detoxing or whatever, it probably wasn't the best of times, but it is what you make of it. If you go in with, oh, this is going to suck, it's going to suck. Yeah. But if you go in there with an open mind saying, I'm going to learn about this, and in order for me to beat this, I got to learn. I got to be on my A game. And don't kick yourself or, tell your loved one, don't, beat themselves up if they fail the first time. And it's not really failing. It's just, it's a marathon, and you're a toddler. Just learn how to walk. There's a long way to go. First we got to crawl, then we got to stumble along, and yeah, we need some help along the way, but just keep getting back up. And eventually you'll hit your stride, and you just be like, damn, this feels good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And talking about doing things you don't want to do, I actually had the opportunity to do a presentation today for the Men's Treatment Center, and it basically was just an introduction to sober living and what sober living is and what have you. And so here I am, looking around the room, 13, 14 different, adult men sitting there, and I started off with basically just saying, I said, I just want to say, in a sincere, I introduced myself and so on. And then I said, I sincerely want to say, I'm proud of you all for being here where you're at. And some of them just looked at me like, what, who is this? What? And I'm like, seriously, you guys have all taken the first step of, recognizing that there's an issue at hand and this is something you got to deal with. I didn't start off with sometimes people feel so judged that they're ashamed, that they're there, or like, oh God, I'm here. And I just and I don't think people hear that enough, especially when you're in your first, who knows, couple days, first week, what have you, at a treatment center, especially your first time at a treatment center. What the hell am I doing here? Like, when's this guy? I thought this was supposed to fix me, or I'm here because of whoever, X, Y, or Z reason got me there, and I'm going to go through the strides until, well, maybe that's what it takes. Maybe that's what it takes, for some people. Just to actually be present and and give it a shot, And so I premised my whole presentation with that, and I think some people were shocked that I was saying that, because I don't think they hear it enough. And I think it doesn't go just for the people sitting in that room. That just happened to be the individuals that I was, speaking to at that time. But that goes for everybody, at whatever stage of recovery that you're in, is that where you're at, as long as if you're listening to this podcast, right now, you're doing something for your recovery. Even if you are drinking, you're trying to listen and, kind of prepare your brain for maybe, turning things around soon, or you did get it at some point and you've relapsed and what have you, and you want to hear some words of inspiration maybe, or some goofy crap about time travel, who knows what. But even little tiny things that you do to get you one step closer to, that paradigm shift or whatever you want to call it, where you're done with it. You're, inside, from your soul, from whatever kind of strength that you pull from whatever kind of higher power or whatever bigger thing is that's out there for you, to make you be able to get through every day without having to pick up that drink or drug, and be good with yourself. I mean, it's a huge moment for that, when that happens. And I know you get impatient when you hear about other people that have that kind of refreshing, rebirth, I guess, if you want to call it. But it does happen, and going to, fighting tooth and nail into rehab. Sometimes that's how it starts. And then, down the line, you open your ears and you listen, and you start working on yourself and recognizing that this doesn't have to be the way that you live. Though, who you were before you came in there, doesn't have to be, who you are today. And life can be beautiful. This takes work.
Yeah, there's a woman, and people go through the recovery their own way, some people like us. Like me, I had to put it out there, for hiding it for so long and just being ashamed of it. I had to go, no, I'm not ashamed of my recovery. I chose to live a good life, and this is something that's positive. So let's talk about it. And if people want to judge me, then they can judge me all they want. But I'm gonna do my life, and I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna do it sober and in recovery, and it's a lot better to let go of that. But this woman, I didn't really even know she was in recovery. And she had posted that, she has 4 years, and this was a couple days ago. And that was cool. And I had never seen her come out and say anything about recovery at all. So I think this might have been her release moment of just yeah, why am I ashamed of that? Mm-hmm. And I think it's awesome when people do that. Depends where you go. Some places will be like, no, you just keep your recovery to yourself. And I don't agree with that. But, everybody's different. And I'm not saying everybody has to put it out there like that. But if you want to wait 4 years and tell everybody, hey, cool, I know for me, I waited a year before I told my story, even, because I was like, nope, I've made it 4.5 months, 5 months. But then slipped up, so I'm not going to be out there. Hey, I did something great, and no, not really. You haven't even made it to a year yet. So that's why I said for myself, okay, in a year I will tell my story. It was just one more thing to keep me sober at the end of the day.
And any time is great time for people who have made the commitment to, live a sober lifestyle. But I've come across people that, truth be told, that their relationship with drugs and alcohol was not a good one. And they're not even, sometimes it's unclear. How many times have people asked themselves, man, am I an alcoholic? Am I an addict? Or is this just circumstantial? Is this just, how things are right now, just because of what's going on with me, or whatever? And then they've made the decision to, just to say, well, I'm just going to go ahead. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to go ahead and just not, pick up and use or drink anymore, because it's caused problems in my life. And so they don't feel the need really to be recognized as a person in recovery, because how they get through every day is, I don't drink alcohol. anymore, and I don't use drugs. I don't use any mood altering substances. I don't feel like I really need to go around telling everybody that, because to me, that's how I get through it. It's not a big deal that I don't use that stuff. So I'm just me. I'll tell them that, what I do for a living and what what my hobbies are, and that who my family is, and where my house is at and what my pet's name is. But telling people that I'm in recovery is not something on the top of my list, because it's not, a huge, some people don't feel like that's something that identifies who they are. But I mean, for me, that's way different. Probably because of my struggle. But
yeah, we've come a long way, that's for sure. And just like that friend, 4 years. So congratulations to Liz. And it was another Facebook group that I'm a part of, and I had posted a question in there, and next thing I know, I'm texting back and forth. Well, not texting, but messaging back and forth with this woman about some questions that I had, and she just pops up with, "Well, you're in recovery, huh?" Yeah. She's like, "Me too, 8 months clean." I'm like, "Well, congratulations." And she said going through the COVID thing was really hard, and I fired back and said, "Yeah, thank God I had been sober a year, because if I hadn't, man, that would have been just too much, getting the unemployment insurance or whatever, and just being told to isolate, disaster, death. I would have died for sure." So, the people that went through it, like her, 8 months through the COVID, I mean, Jesus, that's huge. And like, you said to those guys, like, proud you guys are here. This is pretty cool that you guys have done this. And, for everybody who's gone through the COVID, and however you did it, to remain sober, that's awesome. Hopefully you're working some kind of program. It takes more than just not doing the drug. You got to replace it with something, and finding out who you are and what you like and how you want to live your life is something that is hard. For me, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I liked. And it gets better though, for sure. And once all this COVID stuff has calmed down, or maybe it never does, who knows? But at least you can move forward with some kind of recovery plan. At least you're listening to the podcast, right? So that's doing something pretty swell. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, good job. And then maybe I got COVID. I keep forgetting that there's like always something I want to talk about. I keep forgetting every time.
Did you want to tell your DHL story?
Oh, geez.
I'm kind of now regretting the fact that I just brought that up.
Yes, it's story time.
Oh,
all right,
goodness.
well, here we is at the old post office, Traverse City, Michigan. But we weren't at the post office, though. Maybe I should just wait until it's Saturday. I'm gonna tell it Saturday, because I already started it off.
Okay.
Failing with the wrong location, even.
Okay.
I gotta give the guy a true voice.
And yeah, don't do Southern accent, hillbilly accent.
But that's what he kind of looked like, though. Not saying that Southern people are hillbillies.
And I don't know.
He was rocking a mullet. Yes, he was. He had the wet mullet look with blonde hair. So it kind of looked like he had dark hair. He didn't just get out of the shower, so it must have been like some kind of nasty gel.
I thought he had brown hair and glasses.
No, he looked like a poor man's like early but not young Dale Earnhardt Jr. To me,
for everyone that's putting a picture in your head, that's who he's going to tell a story
and
about.
3 foot shorter, which I think he's like 5'11". So Dale Jr. is not that big, but like this dude wasn't that big. And I don't know, he just had a mullet. All right, listen to me. He had a mullet, and it was like dirty blonde, but wet and greasy. And He worked for the company DHL. Oh, and yeah, stay away from a company called Toto Gifts. It was something on Facebook the other day going around, like Toto Gifts, something. But they sell all kinds of stuff, and one of the things they sell are like couch covers and stuff. And yeah, just stay away from them. Just trust me. Don't ask no questions. Just say no if you see them pop up on your thing. I told Facebook they need to put an advertisement out. You know, since they were advertising on Facebook for them, like, you know, they should probably put a disclaimer out there just to tell people, you know, the truth about that company. But I don't know. Just take it from me, though. You're welcome. Public service announcement done.
Man.
I know. Above and beyond. Oh, that's what I was going to say, actually. Our man Tyrone, and I don't know why I didn't think about it, but he got his year.
Oh, that's right.
A couple months ago.
Congratulations, Tyrone.
I think it was November. So, like, we need to get him a coin. And, of course, he'll be on the episode early April. He's going to be on a podcast. He's going to come by the studio, do some voice work for us, which is awesome because I've been writing stuff in my brain, which I really need to put it on paper since my memory is going.
Yeah, you definitely do.
But I think it's going to be so awesome to have him, and then we can actually start having real segments that I don't forget about, like Movie Mondays on Tuesday or whatever I was calling it. Movie Review Mondays, but on Tuesday, and have Tyrone doing his voice.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to him.
Recovery Player of the Week. This one goes out to Jason Vaughter. You know, like just like have like different recovery people of the week, and I don't know, it'll be fun. What's real fun is writing grants. Oh, you don't want to talk about that? Okay, we'll talk about that on Saturday too.
Okay.
All right, so Saturday, the for real, the story of the DHL guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to recreate the scene. Only way I know how. Just not with a southern accent. And then, what did I just say? What else we're going to do?
Grant writing.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about grant writing.
Maybe you do have.
I'm telling you.
Or you're just overtired.
I'm 42 and a half.
Yeah.
So, this is what 43 is going to bring me?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Because 43 years ago, I was in my mom's belly like, what's up? It's cool. Attached to the inner lining. Maybe that's what I was going to talk about. I'm talking about that too.
Okay.
Because I watched a video the other day about what it takes for life to be created. And I'm not talking about porn. I'm talking about like microscopic stuff, like just insane how, yeah, we're going to talk about that Saturday too. Because that could be the whole show.
Okay.
We'll call that when sperm meets the egg.
Oh my God.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I won't call it that. Maybe I'll call it the DHL guy story. But all right. Appreciate you listening though. 217recovery.com is our website. We do have an app. It's for the Android and the Google store. It's for the iPhones, Apple products, and the App Store. So download that. It's absolutely free. Read the blogs from Anna. Marnie posted a blog the other day. It's pretty sweet.
Thank you.
I haven't posted in a couple weeks, so I want you to go back and read what you missed. Or I'm just, I don't know, got busy and stuff.
Man.
All right. But yeah, check out our website, though. Appreciate it, 217recovery.com. Talk to you on Saturday.
Night, everybody.